Hi Mel, explaining to you how to set the system up. So you have the two plates. This part is the weighbridge, this part is the brake testing. This is the direction that we drive on. So the way we set them up is we utilize these, and this is all going to be in your kit. So these are your lifting devices, just two holes with two shackles. Put that on each corner, put one shackle in the middle, so now you can easily lift it. We just use a little forklift to do it with, but you can use anything like a crane or whatever you may have available. Okay, so this plate is already down. You can see we have these sections. They go in the middle of it. So one side goes over here, the other side is here. The driver now will bring the plate up and we'll just side shift it in a little bit. So, thank you. A little bit forward. Yep, stop. Perfect. Go up. Yep. There we go. Drop it down. So you can see now the two plates are together like that. Now all I got to do is tighten these bolts and the setup is ready. I might show you out here. This tube is the one that has got the tubes that run through for the cables. So the cable will run through here, so make sure this one is used at the front. And now we are ready to go to the next stage. Okay, so now we got the two plates down, we've got the surround section in it and we tightened them up. When you were talking to me about the load loaders having wider wheel track, all you would need to have is two of those, but make them a bit longer. Then you have a wider track. Okay. Now what we have is the cables. So the cables have to run out, usually I run them out to the right because that's where I usually set up the control box. Now, should you choose to install the machine permanently, I'd like you to do what we've done here. We've done a little cut in the concrete and the cables go into the concrete, so there you can drive over it and nothing happens. On the mobile machine, you got to be a little bit more careful. Just, and show this a bit in close-up, these are designed to be pushed through this tube here so nothing can happen to them. So just feed them through here, bring it out here, and then feed them back out this side. Be a little bit careful please with the cables because they are specialized data cables and you have to have a little bit of feelings for it. And just push them through like that. Okay, so now the next thing is you drop the ramps in. The ramps have obviously two studs which go into these two holes. The ramps are not too heavy. One person can certainly lift it. I'll just bring it across like so. And they just drop in. And then you do that on all four sides. So now we've got the whole test track set up. I use a little bit and I put a little bit of these rubber mats with you so you can put them underneath if you have somewhere a little bit of a high spot to have to level it out. Okay, so now we have the test track installed. We brought the cables out through the side or wherever you can. Please be a bit careful with those. I run the cable across to our control cabinet. This will be your control cabinet. This houses everything that you need for the test track. I'll start off with the bottom shelf in here. So I brought these cable out through the back and into here. I've got these two little ends to protect the end of the cable because these ends of the cable are very sensitive. So undo those two. And now we plug these two cables into what we call the black box underneath here. And you can see the yellow bit goes to the left. So that's the first one. So this one into here, be careful. You turn it a bit until you can feel that it dropped in. So there's a little notch. And then you tighten it into the black box. The other cable goes next to it. Okay. So now I've got the test track connected with the black box. This box in here is your black box. I've glued it or with double-sided tape into the cabinet for you, so it is easier for you to install it, and then all you have to do is just basically put these two cables in here and the machine will be up and running for you. So I've got the power board for this, and what we call with the gray cable and everything, that's already all connected for you. Everything has been connected into the power board in here. We've run all the cables through for you for the printer. The printer will be sent in a separate box. All you will have to do is hook up the printer to the two cables which are already in the cabinet. And on here, so if you come around here, I have all the cables marked how to put them into the computer. I've given you a computer setup where the computer and the monitor is in one. So everything is marked and you just have to plug it in here. When you're finished with that, to switch it on, over here, sorry, if you can come over here. So you put the power on, and basically all you got to do is click on this one button here, a green light comes up and the computer will start up. So now that window installs itself, you won't have to press a button or do anything, just let it install itself. And then you will see this window comes up called Safety Stop Playtronic, and it will set itself up into the COM port and find its own COM port, and now the system is up and running. This is what you will expect to see when you switch it on the first time. Okay, so what we also done is here, I've got an extension. This is a HDMI cable, which I'm gonna put into the kit for you as well. And with that, you could run a second monitor further down the track if you need to. So if the truck is a long truck, then you could even, one person can still do all the operation. We're now gonna show you how to function, or how the key functions work on this. So if you click on F1, you will see the brake test goes red, and now the machine is actually up and running. So I've put the camera on top of the monitor for the moment, and now I can zoom in and just make it clear so it is right in the middle of the test track, because that will give you the actual photo when you do the testing. Now you're basically ready to set up and go testing. Okay, so now we are ready to test. So the first thing, the keyboard you will take with you into the truck, but at the moment I'm showing you from here and explain to you on the screen what actually is happening. So the first thing we do is we press the F1 button, and that will bring the brake test up. Now we are ready to drive on. The driver now will drive slowly forward, roll across it, and when it says stop, he hit the brakes really hard. On this machine, you have to hit the brakes fast and hard. Now the results come up. So you can see that I've only got 2% difference between left and right wheel. I've got plenty of decel per axle. This is my force in Newton on each individual wheel. So I'm happy with this. It's given me two options. Number 2 with a green tick, that means I accept the test, or number 1 with the red cross, that I don't accept the test. Obviously here I accept the test, so all I got to do is click number 2 on the keypad. Now she's ready for the next test. So the next test, the foot brake, if the next axle or this axle, if I now want to go to the next axle, I press number 3 and she's ready for the next axle. So roll forward. Keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling until it says stop. Then I hit the brakes hard. Again, my results. 6% only difference. That's how much brake effort in Newton on each wheel and the deceleration. So again, I'm happy with that. I click number 2. Now I want to do the handbrake on this axle. So that's number 4. So I press number 4 and it's asking me to roll back and you roll back just past the weighbridge, not further than that, only past the weighbridge of the machine, which I'm going to show you later. Now I'm pressing the number 2 button again, roll forward. When it says stop, you pull the handbrake. Working very well. Therefore, I press number 2 again. And now I just keep on doing axle by axle. When I'm finished with it, I press the number 9 button, the finish button. That will tell me if the vehicle passed or failed. And now it allows me to enter the examiner number and the rego number, which we come over here and I'll show you over here. So in this field here, it's probably a bit difficult to see because of the glare, but in this field here, it allows me to enter the examiner number. And it allows me to enter the rego number. It is important that you always type in the rego number or the truck number or whatever you want to put in there, always the same way. That way the program will always find it again. Because every test from now on will always be stored under a file under this particular rego number. So now we click OK, and everything is stored. Okay, so now to retrace a test, I click on the stored result, which is the F7 button. And now it asks me, well, which one do you actually want to find? Well, I want to find the brake test again that I've done. And you can see here, I've got a couple of tests already stored in it. So we go to the test I've just done now. I click on here, and here actually I can see with the photo, yeah, that's definitely the truck I done. I'm opening up show the results, and here are the actual results that I've just achieved. So I may just explain the results to you over here. Okay, so you can see that everything is in the green. Everything has passed the actual criteria. Force left in Newton, how much braking effort on each individual wheel, the difference between left and right front axle, second axle, and here it will just keep on going. Over here you get the deceleration, peak and average, and over here you get the handbrake result. Let me just get rid of this. Okay, so now I've got the overall result, and obviously I can just print that out as well, and then he prints it in a nice to read format. Okay, another feature that we have is the graph. If I click on this button here, open graph, then at the bottom left, number F5 is lit up, and that means if I click on here, it actually is going to show me the braking graph. And you can see very nicely both wheels are together, both lines. I go to the next axle, the same thing, both lines are going nicely together, and also on the handbrake, they're nicely together. And again, I could either print or just look at it. Okay, so now we're showing you a brake test with the driver operating it by himself from inside the car. So he pressed the F1 button, it is up and running. Now he rolls on the test track, nice and slowly. When it says stop, he hits the brakes really hard. He looks at the results and decides, yes, they are the right results. So number 2 gets us to the next axle. Roll forward. Hit the brakes hard. The next axle is stored. Number 2 will store it. Number 3 gets me to the next axle, or number 4 gets me to the handbrake. Just past the weighbridge, not further than that. Especially on a tri-axle trailer, you got to be a little bit careful how you do that. Then you press number 2, roll forward. When it says stop, you pull the handbrake. And the test is again finished. Okay, so what I've done now is I've set everything up for you, showed you how it is operating. We're now going to pack it for you, Mel, and tomorrow morning it's going to get picked up and sent to you. Once you get it, you should be able to at least set it up this way. After that, you give me a phone call and then we'll talk you through it, and good luck. I'm sure you will be very happy with everything that you're going to get here. Thank you.